Check, check. All right. Do y'all like tennis? A little bit? Maybe I shouldn't tell that story then. You really like tennis? Okay. So, I went to the U.S. Open in 2017. Did anybody else go to the U.S. Open? Yeah. So, what did you do at the U.S. Open? Watch tennis, right? Do you guys watch tennis on television? Alright, it's much better in person. There's actual tennis balls, and there's actual humans that talk to you. So, I went to the U.S. Open with a group of there was Natasha, she's from Russia, and the Russians love tennis. They also like to garden, and they like to figure skate. Did anybody watch the figure skating for the Olympics? That was pretty amazing. Zagitova, oh my gosh, she's amazing. That tutu, right? And Medvedeva, that was an amazing performance. I just want to give a shout out to those two amazing girls from Russia that just totally blew my mind. I just fell in love with figure skating. Did anybody else do that too? No. All right. Well, I should stop looking for feedback then. So on the ride up to the U.S. Open, we listened to music. It was very uneventful, so I'll save that story for nobody. You know, we got in line. I got some tickets. That's kind of uneventful too. But really, what was really fun was the tennis. And so if you haven't ever been, there's like maybe 25 courts. So we went on the first day. And if you play tennis, you might know that, the professionals are quite good. And they've been playing since they were like 5, for their entire life, for like every day probably. And they've got lots of, family support, and, we drive, they play tennis. And so I had never been to the U.S. Open before, and so it was like a whole breath of fresh air to me. I had no idea what was going on. I mean, I had quite an idea what was going on. When I played tennis too, I loved the feeling of a backhand, or the feeling of a forehand, and getting my body in alignment. So when I get my body in alignment with spirit, there's this sense of patience and peace that flows through me. Without effort, I can do a forehand. Without effort, I can do a backhand and maybe even serve, and it feels like flying, or maybe like a pink flamingo. I suppose that the pink flamingos, when they're in their community and in the ocean, they're not really in the ocean, but they're in bays, I think. But they really like their lives. Actually, they probably adore their lives. I mean, they're pink, first of all. By the way, I like Princess Poppy a lot from Trolls. She's kind of my idol. So these pink flamingos don't play tennis, unfortunately, but Roger Federer does. In any case, I can suppose that they were thinking of me when I was at U.S. Open, and so these pink flamingos in Indonesia were like thinking of me while I was at the U.S. Open, which is so strange. So I was like walking through the U.S. Open and watching tennis matches. And they were really close. They were like as close as you and I, and these really amazing athletes. I mean, they were hitting the ball like those pitchers can throw it fast, and getting it in. And you guys know how hard that can be, to be consistent and to always find that flow. So I like to stand on the side of the matches, really close, and to not the big grandstands at the Louis Armstrong stadiums, or even even the Arthur Ashe Stadium, but I like to stand beside them and really get as close as I can to their athletic prowess and their devotion to the game and their devotion to the challenge of it, and just continuing to excel and excel and excel, and I thank them for that, because they showed me something about pursuit of excellence. Thank you.
Matthew, everybody.